but it was like, I can't not do this, you know? Um, and I think that's the thing that we're not focused on anymore as we raise our children or as society moves on. I think that that sort of loss of encouraging people to do what brings them joy isn't there anymore to a great degree. That we push people to be successful, you know, and if someone wants to do something that doesn't make a lot of money, we go, well, you know, that's nice, you know, and you're really good at that, but that's not going to get you, you know, that's not going to get you a life. That's not going to get you, you know, what are you going to do when you're 90 and you can't do this anymore? You don't have any money in the bank, you know, I mean, there's all this fear-based stuff that comes up to not follow our hearts about what we should do. And this is not, the thing that really strikes me, the more I thought about that this week, was that this isn't something that's only for the very young. It's for everyone, no matter what age they are, no matter what time in life it is, no matter what they have not done or did do. There's always that ability, that decision that can be made, that you can just go ahead and do what you love at whatever level you can do it, because there's no one to judge that joy. I mean, let's say you've always wanted to be an artist, and you're old enough that you don't have motor skills anymore, and yet you still paint. And everyone else might look at that painting and go, yeah, it's not that good. But if it brings you joy, if it lights you up, then that's what you should be doing. You know? It could be anything. You know, anything that excites you is that natural spark that's, I think, connected to, it flows through everybody in a different way. Each one of us is different in that sense as well. Yeah, I've talked about all the other things about everyone that's different and how we ought to honor the way we are and our quirks and proclivities and all those things that make us unique, and that we can't judge ourselves against others. I mean, there's that whole realm of discussion there, but this falls into that same category of, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter whether or not you're quote, quote, good at something. It's what brings you joy. And joy can be had up until the last second that you're on this planet. It's just looking to see what it is and doing it as best you can, given your abilities or whatever it is, you know. Some of the best artists, some of the best writers, some of the best musicians were very old and still produced amazing work. You're going to pay for that one, Randy.
I'm not prejudiced at all.
But my point is that it doesn't matter what the outcome is. It's the doing that's important, not the result. Because I think people don't, without looking at this, people don't get this concept that it's not the result of what you do that gives you the joy. It's the doing it. And it almost doesn't matter what the outcome is. You could paint a painting and then just throw it away. Never look at it again. But the joy came from doing it, not from looking at it at the end and going, oh, look what I did. It's beautiful. And it's better than so-and-so's, or more, you know, it's this or that. You know, when you start to compare it to other things, there is a very weak satisfaction in that part of it. When you look at it and say, oh, it's better than, or I think it's good, or it's better than so-and-so's. I'll admit, anyone I think would admit looking at it, that there is a weak satisfaction that you get from that. But it's nowhere near the joy that you get while you're doing it. That's where the real love is, you know? And it's like, if you can, and if you're young and you can get into professions or into whatever kind of work that brings you joy, then it's not like working anymore. It's not, you don't even care about the money. The money makes no difference, because you wake up every day going, I got to get to work because I got this to do and I can't wait to do it. And I know, Chevy, you probably feel that a lot about what you do. You know, even though you complain a lot about it. Of course, we all do. But there, I can see from when you write about it, there's a joy behind it too, that you get a lot of satisfaction out of the kind of work you do.
I did.
Yeah, and I get that because I was in that same basic field of that. So I think that's a really important thing to continue to focus on in every moment of our life, especially when we start to flounder a little bit, because life is a series of ups and downs. It's like waves. There are storms, there's calm times, there are joyful times, there's sorrowful times. But when we find ourselves in those times when we're not feeling fulfilled, we can ask ourselves, where's our joy? What is it? And if we've lost it over a series of years, maybe we haven't been in our joy for a long time. We can start asking ourselves, what was my joy? What was it that I used to love to do? What was it that I really, way back when I thought the world had all possibility? What was it that I just absolutely lit up about? And try and redo it. Try and bring it back into your life. Even if it doesn't matter what it is. It can be cooking, it can be writing poetry, it can be teaching, it can be whatever it is, at whatever level that you can find to express that. That's what's going to keep us going. And when we feel that kind of joy, there's no difference between that and any other words you want to put on it. I mean, that is spirituality in a sense. That joy is connecting with a higher power, your higher power, the universe's higher power. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And again, people will hear that and say, yeah, well, then I need to have great accomplishments. I have to be recognized. I have to be, people have to agree with me that this is what I should be doing. And they're going to look at my work and say, yes, you're really good at this. You should do more of this. None of that matters. It absolutely doesn't matter. I write 1,000 books and put them on the shelf. Do whatever you do. It doesn't matter in the end whether anybody but you. It doesn't even matter whether you get any joy out of it when you're done, because again, the joy comes in the doing, and in the adventure of expressing yourself. You are at your purest form. You are expressing yourself and your place in this universe at the highest level. Because at that highest level of output, if you call it what you will, there's no ego either. You're not you anymore. You're not that person thinking or judging yourself or judging what you're doing is right or wrong or good or bad. You're at this level of just expression and creativity that is boundless. And we would do well to learn how to notice that and really embrace it. Because as soon as we start to feel that level of flow, I'll call it flow, where everything's clicking and everything feels good, what's the natural tendency? What have we been taught? To shut it down, to start to judge, to say not good enough, or what would they think? That's what we've been taught to do. I don't know why we've been taught to do that, because I really do think it's what we've been taught. Because if you look at little children, and they're playing on the ground with a toilet paper roll and a potato masher, and they've created a whole world, and you go up to them and go, what are you doing? All of a sudden, you've shut them down. Instead of sitting down and going, explain to me what it is you see right now. Join in that level of enjoyment and creativity. We don't do that, though. And so I think over our lives, we're taught to shut that down. And if we notice that, again, this is all about Everything I talk about is about noticing, about being aware of what it is that we do inside of our heads that we're not aware of. That it's automatic. It's not natural, but it's automatic. And we're our own worst enemies when it comes to these things, because these voices, if you notice sometimes, those voices aren't even you. They're voices of people that you've known. Mom, Dad, whoever it is, Uncle Bob told you you were an idiot because you couldn't get up on the horse, and now I'm an idiot and I can't ride horses. These things are placed upon us. And so